At the edge of the Pacific Ocean, a rocket explodes into fire. Millions of dollars vanish in seconds. Engineers stare in silence. Investors walk away. This was not a victory. This was not progress. This was the moment SpaceX was supposed to die. So how did a company that failed again and again become the most powerful force in modern spaceflight? And more importantly, what kind of person keeps going when gravity itself seems against them? This is not a story about rockets, or technology, or even space. This is a story about obsession, about control, about a man who looked at the impossible and treated it like a deadline. This is SpaceX, and this is where it really began. Elon Musk didn't grow up dreaming about Mars. He grew up trying to escape Earth. As a child in South Africa, he was quiet, isolated, often bullied. Books became his shelter, physics his language, and science fiction his rehearsal for another life. While other kids learned how to fit in, Elon learned how to endure. Pain didn't break him, it trained him. Years later, when he moved to North America, he wasn't chasing money. He was chasing leverage, the ability to bend reality. By the early 2000s, Elon Musk was already wealthy. PayPal had worked. Silicon Valley had accepted him. But wealth wasn't the point anymore. He saw something most people ignored. Space had become lazy. Governments moved slowly. Costs were absurd. Innovation had stalled. Space wasn't impossible. It was just monopolized, and monopolies don't dream. So Elon asked a question no billionaire was asking. What if rockets didn't have to be disposable? The room laughed. In 2002, SpaceX was born, not with applause, but with skepticism. No aerospace pedigree, no government blessing, no safety net. Just a belief that physics didn't care who you were, only whether your math was right. But belief doesn't build rockets. Reality does, and reality arrived fast. The first launches failed, then the second, then the third. Each explosion burned cash, trust, time. Engineers quit, partners doubted. The press smelled blood. By the fourth attempt, SpaceX had money for one more launch. One. Failure wouldn't just end a company, it would end a philosophy. Elon Musk faced a choice: play it safe, or gamble everything on a single shot into the sky. Because if this rocket failed, SpaceX wouldn't just lose its future. It would prove that some dreams are too heavy to escape gravity. And yet, he pressed launch. The rocket rises. For a few seconds, nobody breathes. No celebration, no confidence, just eyes locked on telemetry screens. This wasn't hope anymore. This was necessity. Then, the engines keep burning. The rocket doesn't explode. It doesn't fall apart. It reaches orbit. In that moment, SpaceX didn't just succeed, it survived. But survival isn't domination. It's permission. Permission to be taken seriously. Permission to exist one more day. SpaceX had proven something dangerous, that outsiders could win, and that terrified everyone who'd been comfortable for decades. Because if rockets could be cheaper, faster, reusable, then the old space world wasn't just inefficient, it was obsolete. NASA was desperate, budgets shrinking, public trust fading, the shuttle program dying. They needed innovation, but they couldn't admit it openly. So they did something radical. They trusted a startup. When NASA awarded SpaceX a contract, it wasn't just funding, it was legitimacy. And legitimacy is oxygen. But oxygen feeds fires. Traditional aerospace companies were furious. They had legacy, they had experience, they had political power. What they didn't have was urgency. SpaceX didn't move like a government contractor. It moved like Silicon Valley: fail fast, iterate faster, sleep optional. To the old guard, this wasn't innovation. It was recklessness. As launches succeeded, expectations rose. Every mission became a test of credibility. Every delay became ammunition for critics. And inside SpaceX, the culture hardened. Deadlines were brutal, standards unforgiving, failure personal. Elon Musk didn't just want rockets to work. He wanted people to break. Before the mission did. Engineers slept at their desks. Families waited at home. Burnout became routine. But something else was happening too. For the first time in decades, space felt alive again. Not ceremonial, not slow, urgent. Alive things demand sacrifice. SpaceX wasn't content with launching rockets. They wanted to land them. Reusable rockets weren't just a technical challenge. They were a declaration of war. If rockets could come back, costs would collapse. And if costs collapsed, the entire industry would follow. Or fall. SpaceX was no longer trying to survive. It was trying to rewrite the rules. But rewriting rules creates enemies. And enemies don't just fight back, they wait. Because the higher you climb, the more gravity wants you back. The first time a rocket landed itself, people didn't cheer. They stared. Because what SpaceX had done wasn't just impressive, it was unsettling. Rockets were never supposed to come back. They were supposed to burn, disappear, and be forgotten. But this one stood upright, silent, almost defiant. In that moment, the future didn't arrive with fireworks. It arrived with disbelief. With reusable rockets, SpaceX broke the math. Launch costs collapsed. Timelines accelerated. Competitors froze. This wasn't innovation anymore. It was control. Governments noticed. Militaries paid attention. Telecommunications companies lined up. SpaceX didn't just offer access to space. It decided who went there. There was no vote, no announcement. One day, space belonged to institutions. The next, it belonged to a company. And companies don't answer questions the way governments do. They optimize. SpaceX optimized for speed, for dominance, for scale. And scale doesn't ask if society is ready. As SpaceX grew, so did its shadow. Workplace pressure intensified. Turnover spiked. Internal dissent disappeared. Not because everyone agreed, but because disagreement slowed momentum. At SpaceX, urgency was a moral value, and anything that threatened it was expendable. Then came Starlink. Thousands of satellites, global coverage, instant connectivity, a miracle for remote villages, a lifeline during disasters, but also a private infrastructure wrapped around the planet. Who controls the switch, controls the signal, and whoever controls the signal shapes reality. Governments scrambled to keep up. Regulations lagged behind launches because innovation moves at the speed of ambition. But ethics move at the speed of agreement, and agreement is slow. SpaceX didn't wait. It launched again and again and again. Success breeds confidence. Confidence breeds risk. A single catastrophic failure, a grounded fleet, a regulatory crackdown, any one of them could end everything. Because when a system becomes critical, failure stops being personal. It becomes global. SpaceX had conquered low Earth orbit, but Elon Musk was no longer looking up. He was looking farther, toward a planet with no forgiveness, no rescue missions, no second chances. Mars. And Mars doesn't care about ambition. Mars isn't a destination. It's a mirror. A cold, empty world that reflects a question humanity has avoided for centuries. What happens when Earth is no longer enough? Elon Musk didn't talk about Mars like a vacation. He talked about it like an insurance policy, not exploration, survival. Because deep down, this wasn't about going somewhere new. It was about running out of places to hide. Supporters called it visionary. Critics called it escapism. Why fix Earth when you can abandon it? But Musk framed the question differently. He didn't ask whether humanity deserved another planet. He asked whether humanity would survive without one. And that subtle shift changed everything. SpaceX isn't really about space. It's about control over outcomes. Reusable rockets, private satellites, independent launch schedules. Every system SpaceX builds removes dependence on governments, on institutions, on consensus. And independence is intoxicating, because once you stop asking permission, the future moves faster. SpaceX has redefined what's possible, but possibility doesn't come with instructions. Starlink reshapes communication. Reusable rockets reshape power. Mars reshapes destiny. And none of these changes came from a vote. They came from belief. The belief that progress is more important than comfort, and that belief has consequences. Every empire begins as an answer to a problem, but eventually it becomes a question itself. SpaceX asked, what if we could leave Earth? But it also forces us to ask, who decides when we should? Because technology doesn't arrive neutral, it arrives carrying the values of the people who build it. If humanity becomes multi-planetary, who gets to go? Who stays behind? And who decides what kind of civilization we become when there's no sky left to limit us? The future of space may not be written by nations. It may be written by companies. And companies don't dream, they execute. SpaceX didn't just refuse gravity, it refused patience. It refused limits. It refused to wait for humanity to agree. And maybe that's what the future requires. Or maybe that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Because the next giant leap for mankind may not come from science. It may come from belief. And belief, once it escapes gravity, never comes back the same.